In Macau, 11 Meng hacks into the police system, tampering with surveillance footage. An officer notices a flicker on his screen, but it disappears quickly, so he dismisses it. Suddenly, an alarm blares. An important bank has been broken into. The police quickly dispatch their best team and activate the AI surveillance system, SPICE. The system scans every camera in the city and spots the thieves' car. Curiously, their hands are empty. Multiple police vehicles rush to the location, only to find the street completely empty. Back at the station, officers can still see the car on their screens, but soon realize that the footage is fake. By the time they understand what's happened, the thieves have already escaped. The next day, the police discover that only one vault was robbed, a vault belonging to a wealthy businessman, who kept half of the password to his $500 million crypto account in a notebook. At Macau Tower, the thieves take over a digital asset management company. Some employees are beaten and held hostage. One is forced to open the server room, while Xiaoxin grants 11 Meng access through a computer. As they download the file containing the other half of the password, they notice that the company manages accounts for important clients, including the CEO of the country's most valuable crypto asset, secured with military-grade protection and valued at $10 billion. 11 Meng insists on copying that information too, ignoring Long Sheng, the gang leader, who warns them not to waste time. Police soon arrive, and the thieves rush to the elevator. Long Sheng, casually seated in a lobby cafe, tries to leave unnoticed, but accidentally steps in front of a barista taking a picture. When the gang exits the elevator, the police spot them, triggering a chase. The criminals knock over civilians in their escape attempt, but eventually reach a dead end, and the officers catch up. A fierce fight erupts, and in the chaos, the thieves capture Captain Yao Lei. Other officers cannot shoot, forced to watch as the criminals escape with their captain in the elevator. Outside, Long Sheng tells his driver to leave, even though the gang hasn't returned. On the higher floors, Yao Lei fights the thieves, but is overpowered and handcuffed to the railing. The gang reaches the observation deck, and Yao Lei frees himself to pursue them. However, the thieves deploy parachutes and leap from the tower. During their escape, they push a woman dangling from the edge, forcing Yao Lei to rescue her. With the elevators hacked, he leaves the tower by tackling a bungee jumper, landing safely on an emergency inflatable mattress. Another police team awaits on a hotel roof, but the criminals easily subdue them and escape using hidden tools, masks, and disguises. Zhe Meng deletes all camera footage, rendering SPICE ineffective. Yao Lei searches on foot, using body cameras to track the thieves. Long Sheng infiltrates the hotel in disguise, creating distractions, while the thieves constantly change appearances to blend in as tourists or staff. Yao Lei spots Xiaoxin by an earring, but Xiaoxin evades capture by blending in with clients. A camera detects an unregistered face, splitting the police team's attention. Xiaoxin cleverly disguises himself and his partner, escaping again. In the lobby, during a light event, the thieves mingle as security, jumping into decorations to evade arriving police. At the station, the robbed businessman rages over his emptied account. Inspector Zume decides to recruit her retired boss to tackle the case without relying on AI. Officers Jin Xiao and Qiuguo are sent to bring back Wang, a legendary agent with unmatched skills in special operations, hand-to-hand combat, firearms, and intelligence. His only career mistake was accidentally getting his partner killed. Wang is found quietly walking dogs. Qiuguo follows him, pretending to be a student, but Wang reveals he has been aware of them all day. It turns out Qiuguo is the daughter of Wang's deceased best friend. Wang praises her for inheriting her father's badge and points out the mistakes she and Jin Xiao made while following him. He even stole Jin Zhao's badge without notice. At the station, Wang reviews hotel and body cam footage and quickly identifies the thieves by observing their camera checking habits. Meanwhile, Long Sheng punishes 11 Meng for delays and nearly getting caught, sparking a fight among the thieves. Using collected screenshots, Wang notices a man in a long coat appearing repeatedly. This man is later identified as the Shadow, a former agent who vanished decades ago. With SPICE offline, Zume allows Wang to form an emergency squad to track him. Wang is skeptical, but begins training the team, including Qiuguo, in covert surveillance, memorization, and blending into crowds. 12 days later, 11 Meng plans a final mission to retire peacefully with Long Sheng. Flashbacks reveal the thieves were orphans whom Long Sheng had helped since 1999. On a mission, Qiuguo intervenes when women are attacked, while Wang fights alongside her, stressing the importance of rationality in police work. The team observes Long Sheng at a market, confirms his identity, and follows him to an apartment building. Using hidden cameras and decoys, they track him while maintaining cover. Inside, a fight erupts with Zhai Meng's twin brother, Zhai Wang, causing chaos as Zhai Meng manipulates footage to mislead the police. Sudoku puzzles and bubble wrap are revealed to form a code tied to the thieves' encrypted plans. Mercenaries attack the police station, causing destruction, while Wang and Qiuguo fight strategically to survive. They decode braille messages from the puzzles and secure critical intelligence. Long Sheng battles 11 Meng's setup, demonstrating lethal skills, but is eventually overpowered. 11 Wang confronts him, leading to a brutal fight where Long Sheng kills 11 Wang. 11 Meng, distraught, detonates explosives. The police secure the CEO's crypto account, but the thieves exploit disguises to steal it again. A final confrontation occurs at a tea house. He Qiuguo engages Long Sheng, while Wang fights to stop him. Using clever tactics, improvised weapons, and teamwork, they subdue Long Sheng, who is arrested, ending his criminal spree. It is later revealed that 11 Meng and 11 Wang had a third twin who accesses the crypto account remotely, placing a bounty on the heroes. The story closes with the police victorious, the criminals captured, and the crypto safe, ending a tense and action-packed pursuit.
After him in 1999, and they've been together since. On day 15, Qiuguo goes out to get food, and on her way back to the van, she sees some women being attacked by drunk men. Wang reminds her that she's undercover and she should call the regular police, but Qiuguo ignores him and goes to confront the men. A fight ensues and she manages to land a few hits, but there are too many men to fight them alone. At that moment Wang shows up and easily defeats all the guys in seconds while the victims run away. Afterward in the van, Wang sees him from the shadows and discovers which building he's getting into. Qiuguo decides to go inside as well, and Long Sheng recognizes her from the market, so he gets his knife ready. At the same time, Wang is double-checking the footage and notices that Long Sheng looked at Qiuguo twice. Realizing he'll recognize her, he rushes into the building too and pretends to be her dad, scolding her while removing her earpiece. Wang chats casually with Long Sheng and offers him an apple, allowing him to get a good clean shot of his face with the camera hidden in the fruit. That piece of apple is dropped in the elevator before the duo gets off. Long Sheng continues to watch them, so Wang picks the lock in a random apartment and they go inside. The lady living inside freaks out and Wang has to grab her to keep her silent. Thanks to the Apple camera, the team sees that Long Sheng is going to the 8th floor, so Jin Xiao rushes ahead and make their next move. Wang's team rents an apartment across the street to spy on Long Sheng from afar and steal his trash. They find a bunch of torn Sudoku puzzles, but they're all unsolvable. Meanwhile Long Sheng spends his time popping bubble wrap. Later at the market, Wang continues to pretend to be a neighbor and Long Sheng approaches him with some chit-chat while secretly scanning him for hidden devices. They talk about their fake lives and Wang says he has a gambling problem, so the calluses on his hands are from playing cards and not holding a gun. He invites Long Sheng to dinner and to everyone's shock he accepts. In the evening, Wang and Qiuguo pay the lady to use her apartment. When Long Sheng out, Zai Meng has had cameras on the apartment all along. The police know they're being hacked, so they've made fake profiles for the duo. Minutes later someone knocks on the door and Wang opens it to find Zai Meng's twin brother Zai Wang. A fight ensues and Wang manages to disarm him, but Zai Wang has a second gun and opens fire. Wang hides until it's over and comes out again to continue the fight all over the apartment, destroying the furniture. Zai Meng sees the fight on the screens but isn't worried since this was always his plan. During dinner, he hacked into Qiuguo's phone and now has access to the camera inside the Zai Meng is feeding them fake footage again. When they start getting suspicious, Qiuguo enters the place while they can still see her on the screen, so they run out to investigate. Zai Meng informs his brother that the cops are coming, so Zai Wang opens fire to force Wang to hide, then he jumps over the balcony and window using special cables to escape. The next day, the surveillance team returns to the street while other cops search Long Sheng's apartment. There's a cabinet full of bubble wrap and Wang realizes it's connected to the Sudoku puzzles to make a code. Suddenly the van is hit by a truck, which sends it rolling into the police building. The truck breaks in two and after hitting the van again to knock everyone out, a group of mercenaries comes out to attack. Several cops are killed and bombs blow up the police cars. Zumai realizes this is a distraction and tells the surveillance team to stay on the street to find Long Sheng. Qiuguo wakes up and pulls Wang out of the car before grabbing a gun to join the fight, shooting down a bunch of mercenaries with great aim. Soon Wang wakes up too and works together with Qiuguo to bring the thing through the station and blowing up several rooms. Meanwhile the two members of the surveillance team find Long Sheng in an abandoned orphanage. Zoom Eye is about to give them orders when the power goes out in the police building and the whole team loses communication. Inside the orphanage, Longsheng finds some thugs and realizes that Zai Meng has set him up. However, he's still an amazing warrior and has no trouble fighting all the thugs at the same time with his knife, although he does get wounded a couple of times. In the station, Wang continues to fight the mercenaries, who are specifically after him because there's a big reward for his head. He moves from room to room, receiving plenty of blows but also bringing down several mercenaries in return. He Qiuguo sneaks around until she finds a satellite phone and contacts Jin Xiao to tell him about the Braille, but she's interrupted by a mercenary attacking her. They start fighting too, and after some struggle, He Qiuguo wins by throwing the mercenary through a window. Thankfully, backup arrives and the police force finally ends the battle. In the orphanage, Longsheng has killed all the thugs after a brutal fight. He points his knife at the camera in fury, but at that moment Zai Wang shows up and says this was his idea. As Zai Meng freaks out because his brother's presence wasn't part of the plan, Zai Wang explains that Longsheng is too dangerous to keep around and jumps on him to fight him. Both men are very good warriors and hit each other a few times before they fall through a window. Zai Wang sees that he has a knife in his stomach before Longsheng starts choking him. When Zai Wang tries to use the knife against him, Longsheng turns it around and kills his favorite son. The cops are starting to surround the orphanage, so a crying Zai Meng has no choice but to activate the explosives as originally planned. Sometime later, Zoom Eye reveals to Wang and He Qiuguo that she brought the CEO's crypto fortune to the police station server to protect it after the last mission. When they check the safe, they find it empty. It turns out that the thieves dressed up as cops and pretended to be part of the backup team, so while everyone else was rescuing the wounded men, they robbed the safe. In the orphanage, Longsheng emerges from the debris still alive and cries for Zai Wang. When the cops surround him, he surrenders and says he'll cooperate. At the station, Zoom Eye turns on Spice again and the computer quickly finds the van with the thieves. The cops follow them to the same hotel, so the thieves split to run in different directions. Wang finds Zai Meng in the laundry room and they start fighting, so two other thieves cut in and tell Zai Meng to run while they take care of Wang. The two guys fight as a synchronized duo, so Wang has some trouble keeping up. Outside, He Qiuguo notices there's a big event happening and guesses that Zai Meng will hide in the crowd, but she can't find him. In a police truck, Yao Lei gives Longsheng back his phone and tells him to call Zai Meng. Unfortunately, the criminal's devices are untraceable, so He Qiuguo has to search for a man on the phone. However, Zai Meng can tell that Longsheng is buying time for him and immediately starts moving again. He Qiuguo remembers Wang's lessons and finds him by noticing a man checking on the cameras. At that moment, Zai Meng remotely kills her earpiece. In the laundry room, Wang uses a tool to knock out one of the thieves and locks the other up in a washing machine. In the police truck, Longsheng drops the phone as a distraction and starts fighting the cops. He activates an officer's gas grenade and takes advantage of the chaos to bring them all down. After removing his handcuffs, Longsheng describes Zai Meng to the cops. Jin Xiao finds He Qiuguo and gives her his earpiece before continuing the search. Wang jumps on a man who matches the description, but it's a civilian who Zai Meng changed clothes with. Currently, Zai Meng is entering the train station and Jin Xiao follows him since he can't contact his team. Unfortunately, Longsheng bumps into him and stabs him to stop him. Then Longsheng catches Zai Meng and stabs him multiple times before turning his own knife to finally kill him. Before dying, Zai Meng tells him the crypto password. While the police arrest the duo in the laundry room, He Qiuguo finds Jin Xiao, but he dies as well. Sometime later, the police have no leads on Longsheng because the stolen money hasn't been moved. Wang points out he's an old school thief, so He Qiuguo realizes that Longsheng has no idea how to cash crypto. The duo goes back to do surveillance, and while Wang is out getting food, He Qiuguo notices the businessman going to a hotel. She follows him and learns that Longsheng asked for money in exchange for the password. They're supposed to meet in a tea house in the afternoon. Instead of waiting for her team, He Qiuguo goes to the tea house alone and Longsheng immediately recognizes her. She keeps him talking to buy time and the police surround the building. Longsheng hears them and quickly knocks He Qiuguo out before trying to leave through the back door, but Wang has already blocked it. Wang confronts Longsheng, who starts killing people with his knife. The clients panic as both men start to fight and Wang gets stabbed a few times. Wang throws a boiling pot at him to slow him down and they continue to fight all over the room, using random tea house tools and destroying the furniture. They fall into the small storage area and now they have to move on their knees. After Longsheng stabs his opponent again, Wang kicks him back and makes the boxes drop on his head. As He Qiuguo wakes up, the men fall through the breaking floor and land back in the main room. Longsheng is about to kill Wang, but He Qiuguo hits him from behind, so he attacks her instead. Wang rushes to help her and in the struggle, his neck is slashed. He Qiuguo tackles Longsheng to stop him and he uses the chance to run away while she checks on Wang's wound. Thankfully, it's not deep enough to kill him. Then He Qiuguo goes looking for Longsheng. By remembering the small details, she manages to find him and sends the location to the team. Working together, they manage to block all the streets and surround Longsheng, who jumps on He Qiuguo again. However, he's so weak after the fight that she easily overpowers him. Now he's arrested for good and everyone celebrates their victory. Meanwhile, it's revealed that Zai Meng and Zai Wang had a third twin who was adopted by foreign parents as a child. After hearing the password on the station's security camera, he unlocks the crypto account and uses the money to put a bounty on Wang, He Qiuguo, and Longsheng.